Such a low place.
Hello?
And then he comes along, says the right things.
Hello, Amelia.
You get used to them throwing you away, and then one tries to hold on. It's endearing.
Hanging up, okay?
Came
You,
at the right
butt dial.
time, kept the bed warm, made me feel wanted. I felt lucky. He was safe, warm, dependable. But it started to feel like I was fucking my dad. I started saying no, pulling away, and he ate it over and over. I could see it building up behind the eyes, but he always nodded, went along. It was disgusting. I'd catch him jerking off, playing porn on the computers, and give him a hard time. You know what he suggested? Therapy to deal with his porn addiction. Wanted to see a doctor. He was ashamed. I got sick of the pestering, weak little taps and kisses, so I gave it up long enough to get pregnant. Figured I could milk the cramps and emotions to the point he wouldn't even bother. Then the baby comes along, and I'm too tired, sore. Well, as soon as the stitches were out, he wanted back in. So I had to take the postpartum angle. Stopped eating, staged panic attacks, insomnia. He never got mad. Was supportive even. So I start neglecting the baby, talking about her lack of connection, dreams of dying, hurting Celia. He backed off after that, for a while. Now I just let him sidle up behind me and do his business. It's just easier. And as long as I close my eyes and think about Jacob or David, it's bearable. For a long time, I played along, pretended it wasn't about looks. I tell him how handsome he is, how lucky I was. What else was I gonna say? Your hair looks like shit? You're fat with a weak jaw? You know, Jacob wasn't pretty, but he carried himself so well, it didn't matter. David's beautiful. That's natural. Truth is, I see men I'm more attracted to every day. It's embarrassing walking with him down the street. Taking him to family gatherings is exhausting. All my sisters and cousins have these gorgeous men. You can tell they love going to bed with their guys. Why wouldn't they? Got those hip flexors, muscled asses, and legs that just slam into you. Don't give a fuck if you get off. Oh, I miss those guys. Like Brian. He was something. Wasn't a needy when we met, and...
What's that?
You look for guys with rings. Anyone you know is engaged, married, serious in any way, and you go to work. See how fast you can get them into bed. While they're nutting, you dig your nails in and pull down both sides of his back. Make sure they look like what they are. Claw marks. I had this polish I made that acted like an irritant. Puffed the marks up like mud. Dig into that meaty back and pull as he's coming. Blood this time. He knew right then what it was. What I did. Got 4 brats, a good business, and she's one of those check the odometer, smell the underwear types. He just stared at me. Guess he thought we had a connection. I couldn't bullshit either. I was smiling. Knowing he was going to lose his house, kids, all of it was funny to me. And I think that's why he started swinging. All these years I told Gary the orbital fracture, the nose and teeth were all from a wreck. Well, after a few seconds I went limp and he started getting hard. He grabbed my throat and that thing turned into a diamond baseball bat. And he starts fucking while choking me. I can't see shit. Both eyes smashed closed. Maybe I'm blind, maybe I'm dying, but it's blackness. Nothing but sensations, but then something else, like light or weightlessness. I get a pulse, atom bomb, like shockwaves in my uterus. I could feel what's left of my teeth chattering from this thing. purest experience of my life. He finished again, stopped just short of suffocating me. I came to my senses and he was leaning over me, white as a sheet. Thought I was in a death rattle. My limbs had locked up, arms twitching, bent like a retard. And when my eyes open, I say, wow. Wow.
What?
It's just that when I think of everything I've given up, excitement, passion, adventure, when I think of how lifeless it's all become, and still I honor my vows. Mona, I would have until all of my youth had dried up. I swear. But something's happened. Something out of a nightmare. She's so pretty, Celia. Becoming a woman right before our eyes. I knew it wouldn't be long before the boys started sniffing around. But how could I have foreseen this? How could I have stopped it? My own baby, 13 years old and late. Just started bleeding, already stopped. If you told me there'd come a day where I'd gladly welcome the idea of some little scumbag having his way with my sweetheart. I know I've aged, put on weight, but I couldn't have imagined this. She's starting to look like me. He keeps saying so. Always called her Daddy's little girl. But now when I hear it, it makes me sick.
Wow, you're good. It's a little on the nose with the aging and weight stuff. I think more than backstory or evidence, performance is key. Yeah, don't worry about the story. We'll punch it up, run it till it's airtight.
I wanted you to know before the shitstorm kicks off. I'll need coaching through the investigation, interviews, on the stand.
I'll bring you in for intensive privates. We'll go full method. But I'm not giving another note until you spill the beans.
I picked up one of those home collection kits from an andrology clinic. As long as it's stored correctly, samples keep for weeks. Was tricky getting a good load without raising suspicion, though. Had to concoct some story about a hand job fetish. But he went for it, obviously. Thinks we're on a good patch now. Jerking him off so much lately, he's all lovey-dovey. So, I collected and let it sit before mixing it with the cryoprotectant. Only issue I ran into was separating sperm from the antifreeze. Thank God for library internet. Anyway, Celia loves her tea, so I got my bartender buddy to get me some Mexican Valium. Stuff is amazing. No grogginess. I'd say over the course of 3-4 evenings, I injected about 50 milliliters. Made sure to smear it all over her sheets and her underwear. Put a bunch of his pubic hair in her drawers under the bed. Soon she'll come to me freaking out. I'll go into a rage, start questioning her, accusing her, sell it. All important when the trial starts. Then comes a disgusting rumor, one that can't be ignored. The pressure will get so thick he'll have to take the test. Besides, everything is gonna be fine. It's nothing but vile gossip, right? Once those results are in, it all locks into place. He goes on trial, and I'll gently force Celia to give up the baby, explaining it would be a daily reminder of the violations suffered at the hands of the pig she once called father. She'll listen. I'll send her to Grandma's, explaining how the change of scenery will be good for her. The old bitch will feel such guilt on behalf of her incestuous son, she'll have to take Celia in. Fingers crossed she doesn't stroke out first. Celia kept him off me for years. She'll do it again. This time for good. Kids get shit out to plow fields, work boats. It's no different. She's getting everything I worked for. She can earn it. I just can't pretend to care anymore about where she goes, what she does. I'm a piece of shit because I got an idea about a life of my own? I'm not a woman if I never felt the calling or saw it as a miracle? You don't think I wanted to feel a bond? Wanted to see myself in her? I won't be held to some outdated standard. That's what she'll learn from me. I'm giving her a hole she'll never fill. And that's what you need in life. Purpose. So, about the time all assets are in my name, the pig will be up for sentencing. Maybe we use the goodwill of the public to raise funds, start a foundation, anything to take advantage of the spotlight and support victims of abuse. You know, I've always wanted to help people. Odds aren't stacked in our favor, but Gary does have suicide in his family history, and I'm betting the shame, humiliation, and thought of decades of isolation and abuse will be enough for him to put some of that Boy Scout knot-tying training to use. If we're lucky, they find the pervert hanging from a bedsheet, cut him down, and toss him in a hole without fuss or ceremony. Oh, I'd love to see it. That bloated purple head, cinched up, ready to pop off that pencil neck of his. Drool and snot running down his orange jumpsuit, spilling into a puddle of piss and shit on the floor below him. That'll be his lasting mark on the world. A stain they can't...
What? Just hang up. Listen.
Gutless faggot. Say something. I know you're there.
Hang up.
Please, I can hear you. I know you're listening. This isn't fair. It's cruel. You like intimidating me. Like me scared and powerless. Disgusting, but that's the real you, isn't it? The you no one can see but me. You hear the pain I'm in? The suffering I've endured, and you want to use it against me? Gary? Gary! Will you feel better if I'm homeless? If our daughter hates me? You don't think she'll believe me? Answer me! I'm gonna drive into this wall if you don't say something! Right into this fucking wall! And you can do it all on your own! Don't care if I'm dead, right? That's what you really want, isn't it, Gary? Gonna plow through these people and hit the wall, and you'll be free of me. Gonna scream your name as I'm crushing them so they know whose fault it is. They're being smashed against concrete.